Okay, friends, there was another thing which I wanted to comment upon, which came to my mind from recommendation of Mr. Mark. He actually mentioned that, what about that Akane's drum solo? That was a funny moment in Bochum. That I really wanted to tell you about this, all the fans, what you should do at the concerts. You can get incredibly, enormously funny things from BAND-MAID if you do it right. BAND-MAID's performance is not like a regular performance by a regular rock band everybody's accustomed to. BAND-MAID is entirely different. They really interact with the audience. That's really like challenge and response game. So let's look at this incredible event. I will pause the video at some key moments and we'll comment on it. So let's start.
Akane! 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 Akane!
So you can hear it here. That's my voice. I'm trying to call for Akane just because I was overwhelmed with emotions and I wanted her to do something special. It was something like this. And then I was alone. Yeah, you can hear it, like I was screaming Akane, Akane, and nobody was repeating it. And I stopped it, thought, okay, fine, nobody's supporting me. And then the guys at the other side of the hall, they started to repeat it as well. And like this.
Akane! 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 Akane!
So you can see it. Of course, she responds. She the guy who's responsible for the lighting, he directs a headlight towards her, and you see that she's dancing. She's like, she's actually dancing, and so the whole audience now screams that Akane, Akane, and what you will see right now is that it had an effect. It's not like something that you can tell them to do something and they will do it. You have to entertain them as well. In the same way as they entertain you, you have to entertain them. So if you do something great, that inspires them, they will respond. Like, look at this.
Solo! Solo! Solo!
So you see that Miku actually takes the microphone and brings it to Akane. That was incredible. It actually sounded to all of us as she's correcting us. Like we were screaming, Akane, Akane. And she said, my name is Akane, and I like ramen. So, yeah, Japanese, they don't distinguish between sounds ra and la. So it's L, R. It's all the same for them. So I like, that's the same word for them, because they have only ra, so ra, ri, ru, re, ro in hiragana and katakana. So I like. They don't distinguish. Okay, she said, my name is Akane. And it was like, everybody was like, oops, sorry, we mispronounced your name. And Misa was laughing. You see that Misa was laughing. Here it is. Miku is bringing the microphone to her. That's what I meant. Yeah, that it's not, we were active enough to inspire Miku to take part in it and actually make an event out of it. Not just, wave her hand and say, like, thank you guys, because everybody screamed like Misa, 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 but never active enough for Misa to have any extra bass solo. So if anybody goes to a show next time, you may think about it. So, okay, Miku is bringing microphone to Akane. She says Danke schön, which means thank you in German. Like you see, Misa is just bursting with laughter. It sounds so funny because it's like, it's the basic English lesson, like, what is your name? My name is Akane. That's probably what she was learning in her English classes, if she had any. I think they all have some English classes with a different, level of perseverance, because Miku speaks very good English right now. Saiki also does it, but not at such a great level. I was actually thinking that Kanami knows English the best, but it turns out that no, she doesn't. Because she studied it in university, but no, she doesn't speak English. She always turns to Miku for an answer. Okay.
I like ramen.
She like ramen, says Miku. I was screaming so low before, but also nobody was repeating these words. But it seems that the guys have heard it, and now they scream drum solo, drum solo. I didn't understand it at the moment. What were they saying? Drum solo, drum solo. I could decipher what was that word. But I was actually glad that Miku did. Like, look, she's lost initially. Drum solo, drum solo, drum solo, drum solo. She's looking at me, so for like, what? What are they saying? And then it looks like Misa doesn't give her any sign or anything, but Miku's like, they understand, she understands something, and she's like, drum solo, drum solo. So she understands what these German guys are screaming. Drum solo, drum solo, drum solo, drum solo.
Drum solo.
Me, says Akane, me, drum solo. So that was a terrific drum solo, yeah? Not rehearsed, so just it's not like technical, yeah? So if you ask a drummer or maybe any musician just to do some improvisations, it depends on them what they will do. So if it's like a guitar, then you can play some tune, which for drums, of course you can play a tune, let's say, from a song but what Akane has chosen to do here, she was just doing like a technical drumming, like a lot of these fast kicks, and these what it's called when she's like Akane the machine gun. So she's doing this very fast drumming, and she just shows how perfect she is, and it sounds so great. And what is funny that Misa comes there, and she seems to be like already very drunk. She has this silly smile on her face, and she's like, she's walking with some uncertainty. But as Misa commented in one interview, that she drinks a lot on stage. Well, a lot. Here it was very hot, like plus 35 this day. But inside in this Zeche Bochum, it was a very nice atmosphere. It was not that hot. And so the girls didn't suffer that much. Miku commented at one moment that it was hot, but it was really not that exhausting, as Hamburg was like a sauna, really. Paris was also very nice, and it was not hot at all. Hamburg was the worst. Bochum was okay. And Misu, she's drinking beer. So she's not drinking whiskey. You see that whiskey is out there on her app, but I think she's not drinking it. She drank like 2 beers or something. I don't know if it's that much for her. She seems a bit drunk, but not that much. And in one of the interviews, she commented that she can still play. Like, she has this delayed drunkenness. Like, she drinks during the show, but she doesn't get drunk. She gets drunk after the show immediately. And Miku like nodded and said, yeah, she gets like smiling and floppy, and she stumbles all over the place. So it's like a switch inside her. So she plays, without any fault during the show. But then, when the show is over, she can get drunk. I read in one interview, I think somebody said it in a Facebook group or something, that in some very old interviews with me, so like very first one, somebody asked her about this gimmick, because her love for sake, for alcohol, the fact that she's an alcoholic, she made it into her gimmick, which is funny because, like, for Russians, the fact that you're alcoholic, it's a big minus. You would never wish to boast in that I'm an alcoholic. If you're an alcoholic, it means like you can be already dispensed with, like you can't do anything good. But Mrs. actually made it into her gimmick. And somebody said that before BAND-MAID, she was actually suffering from it when she was very young, and she already started drinking. Her mother is an alcoholic, I think, as well. So that runs in the family. And she was drinking a lot on stage, she said. And Misa said that, I was drinking a lot on stage, and she was getting really drunk on stage, and she couldn't play, and she was crying afterwards. So it was like a problem for her. And after some time, she just learned how to manage it seems. So she's drinking on stage, but she's not getting drunk. So the show lasts 2 hours. So she starts drinking like in the middle of it. Like 1 hour maybe after the start of the show, and 1 hour before the end of the show. And she drinks in such a degree that she probably knows her dose, and she knows that she will get drunk only 1 hour later when the show is over. It's funny that they put this during this series of concerts. They put clan battle before the song Clan. They had a battle, Misa Kanami battle for tapping. Kanami is still studying tapping. It seems like it's quite a difficult technique,
and bass stepping is also quite difficult. So they have this battle. Misa challenges Kanami to do this battle, and then Kanami like takes the challenge and then also starts stepping, and then she's like reversing it. So first Misa plays her part, then Kanami responds, then Misa plays again, Kanami responds like, great, I can do it, and then Kanami sort of, here is my part, can you Misa reproduce it? And then Misa tries to reproduce it. It's funny that almost in every show Misa just fucks up in one place. I don't know if they do it on purpose, actually. It's like, oh, I'm not that great. Again, I fucked up again. Sorry. So it was like this in Paris, in Bochum as well. I think not in Hamburg. Like they either forgot about it or they decided to change it a little bit. So Misa was already in Hamburg. She was perfectly fine. What Misa is doing here? Okay, I digressed. So drunk Misa comes to the kick drum of Akane and looks inside the hole. What is she doing? What is she looking at? I initially thought that she's looking at the feetwork of Akane, like what Akane feet are doing there. Probably should be a fascinating view. But then somebody said that probably Misa just wants to feel the pulses of air coming from the hole. And you can hear that her hair is moving, like she's leaning there, and her hair is moving from those pulses of air coming from that hole. Whatever. So that's what's happening here. Okay, let me continue a little bit because there was an interesting part after this. It's so funny. Miku was sitting on a monitor, on a monitor. She was like enjoying it.
Enjoy together! I'm so very happy for. Thank you for. さて、ジャーマニー、この会場が、2回目、2 times です。1回目来た人、ファーストタイム。すごい。
She's asking who attends the servant for the first time, and there's a lot of hands raised. She's so cute here. Come back home. I remember that moment was actually, I was recording it like really, she's so cute, and Miku is so great. Like, look at this.
ドイツが一番いろんな国を、いろんなところを回ってるので、すごくドイツはなんだろう、いっぱい来てるんだけど。
Looks like it seems that they're actually quite tired here. So Miku forgot all her English. It seems to me, like she just speaks something to herself, in Japanese. And in America, I saw that a lot of Japanese-speaking people in the audience, but not in Germany. Almost nobody spoke Japanese, at least to like a decent level. I think almost nobody understood what she was saying here.
いっぱい来てる気がしますと、皆様と
Ippai Kiteru. I have no clue what is that.
一緒に大きくなっていけたらなと思っております。英語がちょっと苦手なのでごめんぽ。
Hey Gogo, she's commenting on something that she doesn't speak English or something because she's tired. That was a very tight schedule. Like they had concert in London, then next day they had concert in Paris, and then next day concert in Bochum. Me and my wife actually had a very difficult time getting from Paris to Bochum in one day. There were no trains available, no train tickets available. That was really next to impossible to get it there. So I was actually, my wife said, I'm so tired, I'm staying in a hotel. And so I got, I had to sell a VIP ticket at the entrance of Zeche for 20 euros. It was funny. Okay, so I have -1 poster signed, so I missed one. I still have 2 after all these shows.
ということで、何話そうと思ってたんだっけ。すごいもう、very very hot. I forget. What?
I forget. She forgets all English, definitely.
なんか話すこと忘れちゃった。
暑いです。
That's my word, atsui desu. So she said hot. I said, yeah, atsui desu.
Very hot, but とてもとても very very enjoy. Thank you for. This ramen, 激動？そう調べた。激動。
It was funny. In Paris, she was asking the audience, she was trying to teach the audience how to pronounce GEKIDO, the name of the era of, like, BAND-MAID builds their career in these eras as well. Like in the same way as Japanese have it in their counting of the years. Like each new emperor comes and the new era starts. So now is like the first year of Reiwa, new era with a new emperor. So new emperor Naruhito came to power this spring, I guess, because Akihito, the previous emperor, resigned, and you probably seen the photo of Akane actually showing that they passing from the previous era. What was the name? The current era is Reiwa. And they have also Gekido, which is the name. In Paris, I tried to scream like turbulence, because it's the official translation of Gekido. But of course she couldn't get it, what these voices from the audience tell her. So on my way from Paris to Bochum, in a train, I was sitting carefully writing. Here is my notebook where I was writing these things for BAND-MAID to, yeah, I had some Japanese lessons here, and I was writing for her what Gekido is. I wrote it in katakana, you know, and I think I tried to reproduce all the kanji and everything, and then I wrote down there "From Russia with Love" in Japanese. And during meet and greet in Bochum, I gave her this sheet of paper, this piece of paper. And she said, like, what is that? And I'm like, Gekido. Like, look at here, Gekido. She's like, oh, so interesting. And with the help of my wife, who's actually a German teacher, and with the help of some other guys in the audience before the show, we translated what Gekido means. So we came with the version Umbruch, which means like turbulence, like sudden change. Yeah, so all this very similar, actually, like very sudden, violent change. But it seems that Miku just, I tried to teach her Umbruch. I was saying Umbruch, and she's like, Burururu? No, Umbruch. And then the security guy who was standing to my side was like, stop it, move on, there's a huge line behind you. I'm like, sorry, and so I had to go because there was a huge line of people at meet and greet, and I was basically holding them back, and it looks like she decided not to use this Umbruch version. She probably went to Google Translate and tried to translate it by herself. And it's funny, if you just put this kanji, Japanese kanji, into Google Translate like this, these two kanjis, yeah, the translation will be Umbruch in German. But if you copy it with the square brackets, like if you copy it the way it is written on their website officially, it is written with two square brackets. So if you copy it like this, it will come with a different version, which she will tell you now.
Gekido, Japanese, Gekido. This one name, Gekido. Do you know? Oh, no. I teach you.
No, oh, I teach you.
Gekido is mean erschütterung.
Yeah, that's the version with which Google Translate comes out. If you put it in square brackets, erschütterung. Erschütterung means like vibration, which seems not a correct thing. It's like turbulence, but the turbulence in a sense like just shaking, you know, not the right one. But she's trying to pronounce it. Erschütterung. Look at this.
Gekido is mean erschütterung. Erschütterung. ちょっと言ってくれたっぽ。This ドイツ語ね、ジャーマニーだとエルシュテルン。
It was just hilarious, you know. She was really trying to pronounce it. Guys, if Umbruch is like probably difficult for her, but it's much simpler than erschütterung, you know, erschütterung, and she was really trying to pronounce it. She was trying hard.
Okay? 英語、イングリッシュだと、turbulence。みたいな感じ。わかった？が激動と言います。ジャパニーズ名激動。せい。激動。せい。
激動。
Okay, nice.
Here everybody says gekido without this say at the end because she separated it. The people were like, if she says it gekido say, then everybody like gekido say. Don't say say. Funny. She was saying something about Paris, I think. No?
Nice Japanese.
Nice Japanese, she said. Nihonsuki? Do you love Japan?
Nihonsuki? Do you like Japan? Do you like BAND-MAID?
BAND-MAID 好き。
ということで、皆様と心を通じ合うこのお時間がやってまいりました。おまじないタイム。3分の1、残りはパーンってして。What?
Okay, I'll stop it here because this recording already becomes way too long. That was very funny, yeah? That she was trying to... So, you don't know? I teach you. So, another Japanese lesson. Okay, guys, that's... I think I commented on a lot of things already. So, learn Japanese. Nihongo no benkyu ganbatte kudasai ne. Learn Japanese and good luck. See you.